Hey there! In all likelihood, you are interested in low vision devices. More to the point, you're probably looking for some gift ideas for a visually impaired person that's important to you in your life. In this video, I'm going to share with you some things that you really need to know. And welcome to the Legally Blind Geek YouTube channel. My name is Mike. On this channel, I focus on overcoming low vision challenges. In the past 20 plus years, I've had the opportunity to field test a lot of different low vision devices, both low tech and high tech. And on this video, I'm going to share with you the best low vision devices that make great gift ideas for any occasion. Now, for a lot of folks out there that have a legally blind person or someone that has a visual impairment in their life that they're trying to help, overcome their low vision challenges, sometimes selecting the best low vision device for a gift isn't as easy as you might think it would be. There are all sorts of things that you want to take into consideration when you're selecting the perfect gift for the visually impaired person, aka VIP, in your life. First thing you want to do is you want to help them achieve a specific goal. Sometimes this is done through observation. Sometimes you can just ask the visually impaired person, what it is they would love to be able to do, if there's some way that you can help them do that. And then from there, discover or look at different low vision devices that make that possible. Something that improves upon their current technology. Maybe they're accustomed to using a handheld magnifier for detailed up-close viewing. These things, they work very well if you're doing this. Now, what they don't do very well is if you're wanting to, say, you want to be able to go shopping. A visually impaired person wants to go shopping with you, and they want to be able to move around through your favorite store, read the end caps, and find some different items that they're looking for that they may not want to reveal to you. Situations like that, a little monocular. A little monocular is a small magnifying device that is good from 2 or 3 feet out to 30 or 40 yards. It just depends on the item that you're wanting to look at. If you're wanting to read detailed signs or end caps in stores, if you're 15-20 feet away, you throw it up to your eye, you focus through it, and it does a pretty good job. Now, there are high-tech solutions to that as well, which is I show it here to you, the OrCam read. Now, this little device is some technology that was designed for folks that have problems reading, dyslexia, low vision, these kinds of things. And basically, it's a point-and-shoot little guy. You point it, you put the red light on the text box that you want to read, it takes a snapshot of it via OCR, it reads whatever is on the package. It has some shortcomings. One is it doesn't like to work in dim light, but we all have different goals that we want to meet, and some of these devices will help us meet those goals, and this is kind of a for instance. The point of the matter, or what we want to do, is we want to motivate the VIP, the person with, legally blind especially. A lot of those folks, they want to, woe is me, I can't do anything anymore. And then there are those who are out there, damn, if I could only see this, or if I could only do that. These devices will help to motivate them to overcome their particular low vision challenges. So that's one of the things that you want to look for when you're trying to select the perfect or the best low vision device to gift someone. Okay? Make sense? And in so doing, this device, keep in mind we're trying to help them overcome low vision challenges, is going to help them to regain their sense of independence. They're going to be able to read text boxes, we'll say like the OrCam read. You got a medicine bottle, or you got a package in the store that you're trying to figure out, well, has this got too many carbs? Is this having too many fats? If we can see well enough with either our Monocular to see where the information is contained at on the package, the ingredients container, and then we can take our OrCam read, hold it up, take a quick snapshot, and listen to it. It'll read to us what the ingredients are, which is extremely important to those of us that are watching our diet for whatever reason. Maybe some medical condition, maybe you just want to lose some weight, or maybe you just like to eat healthy. These are things that will help with that. Another thing is the perfect or the best low vision device for a VIP kind of establishes a comfort level. You know, they get used to using this, and they use it more and more. They use it every day. And then sometimes they will outgrow this particular device. It's kind of like I use my hand magnifier all the time. Makes a great gift. And for anything that's just a quick grab, look at, this works really well, but it has to be in your hand in close view so the magnifier works. With your monocular, it can be further away. Now, one of the shortcomings of a monocular is like if you're outdoors and you're wanting to participate in some outdoor activity where you're sitting in a folding chair, a camp chair, the bleachers, and you want to see a sporting event that's going on out in the field. You know, possibly it's a child, grandchild is doing something they've invited you to. You want to get out of the house, you want to get some fresh air, or your visually impaired person is wanting to venture out into the great abyss that is the normally sighted world. One of the things we can do is, for distance viewing, a good set of binoculars. A good set of binoculars help to bring what is distant in close. And the beauty about a set of binoculars are they work rain or shine. They work if it's hot, if it's cold. They don't have any batteries. So you can be out at a soccer match or a softball game or a football game, and snowing, rain doesn't really hurt them at all. As long as you want to sit out there, as long as you want to be there, they'll function for you, and they give you a lot better field of view and a lot more clarity than will a single monocular just looking through one eye. They only have a limited field of view, and most of them don't have lenses that are large enough to gather a lot of light to make them good in low light situations, whereas the good pair of binoculars we recommend, I have some links in the description box down below, and this is a good time to point out, if you're looking for the show notes and stuff like that I use to put this video together, check out the description box. It's below this card, it's right below the screen. Just scroll down and you'll see where it says description. In there we'll have, I'll go ahead and put chapters in there so that you can find the proper chapter for the device or the thought that we're covering at the time, so you can move back and forth, what have you. And in the description we will have some links to some additional videos that we put together on like Christmas gift ideas for under $20 or things like this. And I think you even threw in there something about, you know, some talking appliances like a talking microwave popping popcorn, which is another device that we'll talk about here in a little bit that helps me, and I've used for 15-20 years. Popcorn, reheat food, do all the microwave cooking that I need to do. Works very well. So when you start looking at all these low vision devices that make great gifts, of which we're going to recommend in this video, all the things that we talk about, I have tried, I have used, and just a little backstory. I am legally blind, and I was honorably discharged from the U.S. military. That makes me uniquely qualified to take advantage of some of the health benefits or health insurance benefits, medical coverage that the VA provides. Since I'm legally blind, I actually have had the opportunity to go to the Blind's Rehab Center at the VA hospital in Hines, Illinois, several times over the past 20 plus years. So a lot of the devices and a lot of the information that I share on this channel is information that I have been able to pick up, glean from not only the instructors at the Blind Center, but also other veterans that have dealt with, you know, low vision challenges of their own for many decades. Some going back to the Korean conflict, the Vietnam conflict, and to present day, which is kind of heartbreaking in a way, but it's real life. So these are where I get a lot of the devices that I use. I have been issued those through the VA, and I have progressed from one device to another, And I can tell you, having used these for different purposes and all kinds of conditions, what I have narrowed it down to, and the list of the best are what I find to be the best, and hopefully you will too. So if you find this kind of information useful, please consider hitting that subscription. Subscribe to the channel, and it'll be right below the image here, right below, down over here somewhere. You're going to see something where it says subscribe. Just tick that subscribe button. Then to the right of it, on most screens, you're going to see a little area where you can just select what notifications you want. Just go ahead and tick that all button. That way you'll be made aware when we post new videos, or even when we talking back and forth in the comments and that kind of thing. You want to be a part of that. So consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, click all, and by all means, make sure you check out the description box down below for some additional information that I just didn't have enough time to put in this video, because this is going to be kind of a long video. But I think it's important, because when we're selecting the best low vision device, we need to make sure that we're looking at the visually impaired person, VIP, whether they're legally blind or just suffering from old age and vision loss. Their needs are going to be different. Their goals are going to be different. And low vision devices are not a one-size-fits-all kind of device. The technologies exist out there for anyone that has any vision left, be able to come up with some technology, some adaptive software, some adaptive technologies that help them make the most out of what vision they do have left. So getting back to, pardon me, I went off on a tear there for a moment. Getting back to long distance viewing, the binoculars, a good quality binocular is great, and it's got some downsides. Basically, they require a little bit of setup. You got to focus them so that the visually impaired person makes the most out of their vision. They can be a little bit heavy, and if you get one like I've got here, and like I recommend in the comment section down below, or the description down below, pardon me, they can be a little bit heavy, but good quality glass that the lenses are made out of, these are good quality glass lenses that have multi-coatings on them, help to enhance the viewing spectrum of light, and they also help to keep from fogging up, and they help to make the image as clear as possible, so those of us that are legally blind, like myself, can't appreciate that. You don't want to get a pair of $50, $40 Amazon, 10 by 70 or 10 by 50 binoculars, because they're just not going to provide the field of view. They're not going to provide the clarity that you're going to get out of a good quality, lower magnification with a wider lens setup. 6, 7, 8 power with a 40 to 50 millimeter lens. They gather a bunch of light. They have a good crisp, clean image. And they've got a pretty good size and pretty wide field of view. The more magnification you got, the narrower their field of view will be, the less the visually impaired person is going to be able to see, and the harder it's going to be to pick up the action out of some of those. So this is why I recommend the Zeiss 8x42s that I recommend in the description box. They're a combination of being really lightweight, having good quality lenses, a good coating, and they're not too awfully heavy, so you can kind of put those in a pocket. You can put those in a purse, a handbag, a backpack, an EDC bag, and they don't weigh so much. They're easy to use. Now, when we transition from the optical magnification devices and we start getting into digital magnification, and we take advantage of some of the digital magnifiers that have OCR built in, which is that optical character recognition stuff. In other words, they take a photograph of what you're focusing on, and then it reads it to you. We're talking about stuff like the Patriot Viewpoint. Now, the Patriot Viewpoint, I do own. I was issued through the VA, and they fill a specific niche that the binoculars don't. One, I can sit in the privacy of my own home and I can watch television with the Patriot Viewpoint. I can also, and I do, use it with my iPad Pro when I'm out and about so that I can see the screen and I can interact with the screen, because for those of you that don't know, the iPad Pro and the Pages application don't work well with VoiceOver. You don't have a lot of the functionality. So I turn VoiceOver off, I put the Patriot Viewpoint on, adjust it so that I can see, and then I can use my iPad Pro like a lot of people would use a word processor or a laptop computer. But for me, the iPad just works better. And for me, the Patriot Viewpoint does a really good job helping me do that. And in addition to that, I can take it when I'm going to be in a fair weather situation. I take it with me so that I can throw it on, and I wear it like a virtual reality type goggle. And I can watch my daughters play softball. I could watch the son play basketball. So I can watch sports indoors, sports outdoors. I can control the brightness. I can make it brighter if it's a little bit dim outside. I can make it dimmer if it's really bright outside, which is something that you can't do with a lot of, especially the budget binoculars or the Monocular. The Monocular's got such a small lens in it that it doesn't gather much light. So unless it's really bright daylight outside, you can't really see very well because it kind of looks hazy, it looks foggy. And subsequently, if it's not a clear day, then they're all but useless. Just be honest. When we get into our Patriot Viewpoint, let me just pull it out here. I guess I should have been a little bit more organized. But this is what the Patriot Viewpoint looks like. And basically, this is something that you wear like such. So then it's hands-free viewing. I don't have to hold it like binoculars you'd have to hold. Your arms get a little bit tired. With these, I put them on, I turn them on. With this control panel over here, I can zoom up or down to make it light or bright. I can zoom out or back to magnify, to zoom in, zoom out. And they'll work up to a 30 magnification. Now, I have set in the press box on the softball field. And normally, if I don't have some kind of viewing device, whether it's a digital magnifier or digital, the Viewpoint or a pair of binoculars, I can't see the outfield. I can't see the outfield fence especially. With the Patriot Viewpoint, I can set in the press box. I can look across the infield to the outfield. I can see the fence out there, and I can zoom in, and I can adjust the brightness so that I can actually read the banners that are on the outfield fence. To me, that's a game changer. To me, that is something that really is beneficial to me. And I think it would be for anyone. They also work if you're going to be out and you just want to sit and you just want to watch from the porch. A lot of people have, especially in rural areas, they'll have the deer, the turkey, or the birds in the backyard. The Patriot Viewpoint makes it easy for somebody with a visual impairment just sit there on the back porch, drinking their coffee and enjoying the wildlife and just, decompressing. When you go to select a low vision device as a gift for a visually impaired person, you might want to improve upon what they already have or what they're already using. If they're not using anything at all, well, then we're starting from square one. You might want to start with a hand magnifier so that they can look at, stuff up close, like we talked about. Or if they're not interested in any of that, just kind of like we talked about, find out what their goal is, find out what they would like to do, and then improve upon where they're at a step at a time. And the point here is you might start with getting them comfortable with using the magnification device. And the simplest and the cheapest is to get an ocular magnifier, hand magnifier, or one of the things that I started with is the Eschenbach Max Detail. Now for me, this is a device, if you have never seen them, let me take this out here. This is a device that actually takes the place of like a hand magnifier. And the beauty of these is, let me put them on here. This is a wearable device that has adjustments on this side for the left eye, this side for the right eye, but this too is something that, it's like right now I can sit here and I can read the script that's on my computer screen. But the beauty with these is now my both hands are free to do whatever I want to, and I've got the detailed magnification. These work great for that. And this is one of those that's a step up from the hand magnifier, because the hand magnifier you got to be doing this. You got both hands occupied, one holding whatever it is you're wanting to read, and the other one with the magnifier, so you're moving it back and forth trying to get it in focus. Okay, so the Eschenbach Max TV or Max Detail is a good intermediate. It's a good step up. And I do have the Eschenbach Max TV as well. And basically these are something that I can put on, I can wear, and they're not good for something that's up close within 2 or 3 feet. They don't focus very well. But if you're sitting across the room and you want to be able to get a better look, or the visually impaired person in your life wants to get a better look at the TV screen, these are the next best step, or they're a step up from, or a better option than sitting there trying to hold a set of binoculars to watch the television, or getting nose to screen to be able to see what's on the television, and not have to all of a sudden go into the expense of getting like the Patriot Viewpoint, which the Patriot Viewpoint costs 10 times what these cost. Well, maybe not 10 times, but you get the point. They're more expensive than these are, which the Eschenbach Max TV and the Eschenbach Max Detailed, I do have links in the description box down below. They are affiliate links. They will take you to Amazon, and Amazon you can find out what the cost and availability is at the time that you're looking at this. At the time of the viewing, these aren't a couple $100. The Patriot Viewpoint is, I guess, I almost hate to say, is close to $3,000, $2,500, $3,000. I've seen prices all over the place. And they're at Amazon. Again, I have a link in the description down below. If you follow that link and you purchase something, the channel will make a little bit of money, which helps us keep doing what we're doing. All these devices are either things that I've gotten through the VA or things that I have discovered work best for me that I have purchased out of pocket. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I get no compensation by anybody that produces these items. These are the things that I've learned to use and I've learned to trust, and I believe would benefit anybody with a low vision issue, whether they're legally blind or, like we talked about before, just an age-related vision loss issue. Now, this is kind of important. Let me mention this real quick. When you start using digital magnifiers that are wearable, especially the Patriot Viewpoint or anything like that, they are not designed, and you'll soon find out when you put one on, you can't drive a vehicle with one, you can't walk with one, because there's a lag time. These things use, like in the case of the Patriot Viewpoint, it uses a Samsung cell phone. It uses the camera on that to zoom in and to zoom out, and it projects that image through the magic of technology through some screens or lenses that couple with right and left eye. So it kind of creates that binocular vision thing. So you'll be able to tell how far something is, how close something is. Okay, but there's a bit of a lag time in the time that the camera picks it up and it does all that, digital magic, and it gets into your eyes, and your eyes see it, and your eyes interpret it and turn it to your brain. And a lot of times that creates that kind of uneasy feeling, or makes you want to stumble and fall. So it's not something that you're going to wear and walk with. It's not something that you're going to wear to operate a car with, or a lawnmower. You just don't use them that way. It'll get you in trouble. Now, if you're going to be sitting as a passenger in a car, you want to be able to look around and see the surroundings. They're okay for that, but still, yet, if you're moving very fast, it'll start to mess with you. So that's one of the not so good. That's one of the things that they're not good at. You don't want to trust them for that. Name it. There's a lot of inexpensive junk out there that really doesn't do us any good as a visually impaired person. I can attest to that. I have tried it, and there's no sense. If you want to replow plowed ground, as they say, go ahead. But what I am trying to share with you, the best low vision devices that help a visually impaired person overcome their low vision challenges and accomplish their goals, is my only purpose for doing this. Hopefully it helps. And other than the optical, whether it's an optical magnifier, or it's a digital magnifier, or an OCR device, like the OrCam read that helps you read traffic signs. If you're out and about, you can throw it up there, click. As long as you can put that little red dot on it, it's got plenty of light on it. I've used it to read street signs. I've even used it to read, billboards on the side of buildings. It does a really good job when it works. It doesn't always work, but it probably works, I'd say 90% of the time anyway. Now, one thing that I have noticed that it doesn't do very well, maybe I should say doesn't do at all, is, and I haven't found an OCR device that does. If you like going out to eat, and you go into a restaurant and it's got the typical restaurant lighting in it, and it's not some kind of smorgasbord type thing where it's lit up like a sports arena. You sit down, you pull out the menu, and you try to read the menu either with the OrCam read, any kind of OCR device that I have tried, they don't work. 90% of the time, a lot of the menus, they've got some artsy-fartsy type font, or the lighting is not good, or the paper is covered with some kind of film so that it doesn't get smudges on it, or it doesn't get dirty and it's easy to wipe off, which makes sense if you're the restaurateur and you don't want to be printing up menus all the time. But for those of us with a visual acuity issue, trying to use our devices, I haven't found one yet that works. And if you by chance happen to know of something that does, please share that with me in the comments section down below. And while we're talking about the comments section, if you have any thoughts or any questions or experiences that you would like to share, I would love to hear from you. Just put it down in the cotton picking comment section, and I promise you I will read it and I will respond to you, and I appreciate everything that you do to help me and the channel help other folks with a low vision problem. If you find a device that works for you, the cost should be the last thing that you have to convince yourself that it's worth the investment. Granted, you might have to take out a loan. You might have to do without this or do without that. You might have to ask to borrow some money from somebody. But the long term, it's worth the investment. And some folks can go to some of these different organizations in their community and request a donation. This can help you achieve that. And wherever you are in the world, there are different organizations that might be able to help. A church group might be able to help. Some blind rehab center, if you can get into that, would help. Or some of the orientation and mobility instructors for the visually impaired can help. Or the living skills instructors in your neighborhood, if it's one of the blind centers or blind organizations in your county or your state. You can lobby those folks. You can introduce yourself. You can tell them what you're doing. You can tell them what your goal is and request some support there. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you have any questions, again, please remember, use the comment section down below. And if you got a minute or two and you don't like watching videos and all this kind of stuff, check out the description. Read what I have in the description. There'll also be some links in there for other videos that we've done on like Christmas gift ideas for under 20 bucks. I mentioned that earlier. And using the talking microwave, which I haven't talked enough about. But if you've got somebody in your household that likes to be able to reheat their leftovers, or if you want to fix them, some kind of potluck, take it, they put it in the refrigerator, but they need to reheat it. A talking microwave is a game changer. Yes, you can go out and you can buy a standard microwave and start counting numbers and start putting little tactile clues on the buttons and stuff like that work. But a talking microwave, such as the one that we've got listed below down in the description, will allow you to punch a button, listen to the command, or listen to what it's telling you, punch a few buttons, and you can adjust the cook time in minutes and seconds. You can adjust the cooking temperature from high, medium to defrost, and you can pop popcorn, you can reheat a cup of coffee, you can do all sorts of things with these devices. And I also, I'm pretty sure I included a link to a talking microwave popcorn video that we did earlier that will better explain to you how the talking microwave works. So hopefully you've gotten some good information here. If you have, let me know in the comment section down below, or more to the point, maybe you just would like to share this. Share it with somebody that you know. Share it on your social media sites or whatever, so that we can get this information out to a wide ranging audience, so anybody that has a visual acuity issue, be them legally blind or just have a visual impairment, can find some of these low vision devices, put them to good use, and improve their quality of life. Thank you very much. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.